I'm back with another video. If I were to start my candle business in 2023, these are the things that I would do differently. My name is Melissa, the owner of Cali Meets NYC, and we are a Newark-based home fragrance company. And I make videos about business tips and candle making and life in between. So let's get into it. Okay, so we're breaking this down into 4 different categories: suppliers, marketing, branding, and education. The things that I would do differently or say the same. Well, so like many candle business owners, I'm a fragrance oil lover. As you can tell from some of my fragrance hauls, I love fragrance oil. Now, when I first started my business, I actually went and instead of buying the 10 milliliter or 1 ounce or 2 ounce samples, I would go out and buy a full-blown bottle of 16-ounce oil, not even knowing if I would want that in my candle line. I would not do that. I ended up with so many fragrance oils that I did not use. I continually have to stash them, and it's ridiculous how many fragrance oils I bought initially, and I felt like I went overboard. And I actually went overboard with spending with Wood & Wick Co. I got deep into bed with them, and I feel like I probably spent over $1,000 with Wood & Wick Co. and fragrances. And initially, don't do that. I also, on the line of fragrances, like thinking about shipping and things of that nature, when things go out of stock, I would really condense my fragrance oil suppliers within 2 to 3 different suppliers. And I'm actually currently trying to do that now by condensing my suppliers, seeing if I can figure out different companies that have similar fragrance oils, or if I can dupe some of them or anything like that so I really condense my shipping costs. That's what I wish I would have done with my fragrance oil suppliers. Now my wax, I would not change my wax whatsoever. I started out with EC26, and at that time, Wood & Wick Co. carried EC26. And if you don't know, EC26 is a coconut soy-based wax. It has a small amount of food-grade paraffin in it. It also is manufactured by Cal Wax. Now, there are a lot of different companies that supply this particular wax. Mixie no longer sells this particular wax. They sell a different form of coconut soy that's manufactured by AccuBlend. I'm not going to get in the details of that because that's a whole nother story. But EC26 is the wax I use, and there's a lot of different suppliers that currently carry that wax. Who I usually buy it from is Maryland Wax Club. One, they are the closest to me. I live in Newark, New Jersey. Obviously, they're in Maryland, super close. Shipping is not super expensive. So I think it's probably like $25 to ship the wax to me. And that is very inexpensive for a 45-pound box of wax. So I usually buy it from Maryland. If they are for some reason out of stock, I then go to my next, which is Hive and Honey. Their shipping is pretty inexpensive. They are a little bit further away, but their shipping is pretty inexpensive. Then I also sometimes get it from Porter Candle Supply, and their shipping is free, I think, above $175. I also buy some fragrance oil from them. So if you throw some fragrance oil in that, you can get it for free and don't even have to worry about shipping. So I would not change my wax. Love, absolutely love, 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 love my wax. So I wouldn't be so quick to jump into a new product category. I launched in 2021 and I think I had introduced candles, wax melts, and room and linen sprays in the same year, and I would have done more research into jumping into a new product category, because obviously that's a whole nother ball game. You have to do, in my mind, it wasn't that much. It really isn't, but you really do have to know your market, know who your audience is. You have to know all of that, and just because everybody else is doing it doesn't mean you also have to do it. So that's that. Marketing. I don't think people realize how much SEO is important in your business. And I didn't know that when I first launched my website. I had no idea what I thought I did. I thought I knew what SEO meant, and it's search engine optimization, and I do know what it means, but I didn't know what it entailed. And it wasn't until I got an SEO expert, and I wouldn't have gotten an SEO expert if one of my friends on Instagram did not post that she used her. But I went on her site and I saw that she did SEO, because what I was doing is I was Googling Cali Meets NYC, and absolutely nothing was coming up. The website was not coming up. My Instagram wasn't coming up. Although I was just like, oh my gosh, how are people going to find me if they're Googling me, this and the other? I had no idea what that meant, because my SEO wasn't on par. So I did an SEO audit, because I was trying to scrimp and scrape and save, because she had this SEO introductory course, introductory, where she goes behind the scenes, and it was, I think at that time it was $1,000, something like that. I didn't have that to spend for my business when I had just put all this money into fragrance oil and supplies and testing and this and the other, and I'm on the verge of launching my site. So I said, you know what, I can't afford that. Do you have something cheaper? She said, I do have an audit. So what she did was she went through my website. She told me what I needed to change and needed to add into my website to make it more robust for SEO. And so I went and did all of those changes to make that. And at that time, because I didn't have very, very many products in my line, it's easy to do now because I learned all of that information. So anything that I add now is just extra. It's not it's not like I'm working backwards. So if you Google Cali Meets NYC, the first 2 or 3 pages are all of Cali Meets NYC information. It's my website, my Instagram, my Facebook, my Pinterest, my crowdfunding campaign, my YouTube channel, things that we're on Black and Green. We have been on Renegade, any articles that pop up, all the images. So that's what SEO does for you. People will Google you, and if you don't want them to get confused with another brand with your name, or with another brand that actually pops up, that's not even your name. And they click on it thinking that, hey, this is the same, or this looks the same, but it's not, or what have you. SEO is a very, very important, and I probably would have gotten the SEO done sooner. The next thing is that I had decided to start my Instagram early on in my business. When I knew my name and the name I wanted to use, Cali Meets NYC, I quickly grabbed it on Instagram. Well, Cali Meets NYC was taken, so I decided to do Cali Meets NYC CO. And I started my Instagram following right away. I also grabbed my Facebook, Pinterest, LinkedIn, and Twitter. Now, I am very, very focused on Instagram. I did not grab my Twitter, I did not grab my TikTok until much, much later. I don't even think I downloaded TikTok until 2022. And I should have done that sooner. I should have started my TikTok sooner. I feel like I'm playing catch up right now. So I would have done that sooner. I also would have done Reels a lot more. So these are all the things that I will be implementing into my business now, is do more Reels and be on TikTok more. I do have TikTok. I do have a very, very small following of 60 followers. So I'm trying to grow my TikTok. I will put my TikTok down in the description. Please follow me so we can up the followers on there and gain more traction. Also, too, be more consistent with email and SMS marketing. I am still not consistent with my email/SMS marketing, and I will be. If you do not have funnels, you need them. You need them. They are money drivers. So I will be making a video on email funnels, email/SMS funnels that you need to drive your business. It is extremely helpful, and you can have people in your funnels and it'll just be cycling. So I have like a win back funnel. I have a welcome funnel. That's, I think on email, it's probably like 3 weeks, which is the cycle for my email. I have an abandoned cart funnel. I have an abandoned browsement funnel. Like, you need all these things. It helps to cycle people through your site that you already have their email for. So if you're not collecting emails, please collect your emails and phone numbers, because God forbid if any of these social medias fail or die, or they decide to just go away, like MySpace went away. I don't remember what else went away, but MySpace went away. If you are solely relying on social media, you are not collecting these emails, you do not own your followers, you do not own your subscribers. You need to collect that data, because God forbid something goes down. I think it was either 2022 or 2021 where Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp went down, and people were freaking out. If something like that happens again, what are you going to do? Would your business survive if Facebook, Instagram, TikTok went down for a whole week? Would you survive? Would your business survive? Collect those emails and SMS and text messages. Branding. Be more intentional with photography. I think at first I was just snapping because I thought it looked cute, or I would just be more intentional with it. I have a styling background, and sometimes I get a little nervous when styling. Trust your instincts, be more intentional. That's like the biggest thing. I would also hone in on my vessels. There was a particular look I was going for in the very beginning. I really wanted a white vessel. I wanted it to be like milky white. I didn't want it to be opaque, but I wanted it to be like a milky white that you kind of could see through. And I couldn't find what I was looking for. I saw on Wooden Wickco, at that time they were named Wooden Wickco. They had the Aura vessel that had this milky white, but I didn't want to pay that price. And I knew my price point for my customers where I wanted to stick to. So I went with something else and I hated it. And I just dreaded it, and I was not happy at all with this particular vessel. And I wouldn't have done that. I would have looked more and just I would have looked more. My current vessels I'm extremely happy with. They're glass. One of the things that I did not like with the particular vessel is I bought it from Candle Science. I would have to then again buy it from Candle Science. Candle Science was the only supplier that I saw that sold this particular vessel. It's the Libby straight-sided jar, but it was in white. Not a lot of some other suppliers sold it in white. I didn't like it, and on top of that, I would have to buy it from Candle Science. What if they were sold out? I'm screwed, right? So I decided to go with a clear glass jar. It's a Libby. It has a heavy base at the bottom, but I can find it at multiple suppliers. So that to me is very, very important. You need to make sure that when you are looking for a vessel, if you're looking for wax in particular and wicks, you need to make sure that you can buy them from multiple suppliers just in case it gets sold out from other suppliers. There have been manufacturing issues. It still continues to happen. So you need to make sure that you are taking those things into account and taking supplier issues and manufacturing issues into account when you're building your line, because you don't want to rely on just one supplier, because if they get sold out or if they go out of business, you're screwed, right? And now then you have to start from square one. So, education. Meet more business owners. Meet more, network more. That's one of the things that I would do. I am really an introvert person, so I don't tend to like to meet a lot of people because I get really nervous and a little shy. And so I kind of tend to keep to myself sometimes. But I know it's a very, very necessary part of the business is to meet people. And so I'm trying to be more open with meeting people and to be a little bit more forthcoming with talking to people when out in public, right? So I need to do that more. That's one of the things I would do. That's one of the things I will be doing in 2023 is meeting more people, going to more conferences, and learning a lot. So on to the last thing. Stop comparing yourself to other candle makers. Comparison is thievery of joy, okay? Comparison is the thief of joy. Don't let anyone rob you of your joy. If you are happy with your candle, do not go to these candle groups and look at other people's stuff and say, why doesn't mine look like that? Do not do that. It will rob you. It will rob you of your happiness. It will rob you of your joy with having your own business. Don't do it. It's fine to learn from other people. It's fine to look for inspiration. But when you start looking at somebody else's candle and saying, why mine doesn't look like that, or I wish this looked like that, you are not the same. And it is okay. I was unintentionally doing that to myself. I unfortunately was compared to another candle maker when I had a wholesale client, and I had to relieve myself of that wholesale client because it was robbing me of my joy. I was really happy with my candles, and they were comparing me to this other candle maker, and they were robbing me of my joy. And I actually allowed them to do that. And that is it. And these are the things that I would do if I was starting a new candle brand in 2023. I will actually be implementing these in my candle business this year. So, if you like videos like this, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment for more. And until next time, bye you guys.